everybody. Welcome to this month's QGIS Open Day. I'm very excited. We've got 3 awesome sessions on the lineup today. The first one is, of course, from Sarien Lategan, and she is coming to us from actually just next to where I stay in the Overberg, so that's really exciting. And this session is going to be on offline navigable rural addresses. And it's specifically for communities for emergency services in South Africa. So I'm really excited to get into it, get into the nitty gritty. So to give everyone enough time to get in, I see everyone's popping into YouTube. We have people coming from Texas, from Brighton in the UK, from Tunisia. Hello, everybody from all over the world. Let me hand over to Sarien and take us through. Over to you.
Okay. Yes, welcome everybody. And thank you. I'll try to be as quick as possible. Yes, I live in a rural area down right in the southern part of South Africa. And as you guys may know, security in the rural areas in South Africa is quite an issue. So we do have community organizations involved with security and emergency services to complement the official institutions like the police and the fire, etc. So we work with those formal institutions. So it's not rogue communities, if everybody is concerned about that. So as being a resident in a rural area, I am a member of what we call a farm watch. It's more than security. We live in a fire-prone area, so fires is a real issue in our part of the world, and it also deal with medical emergency, etc. So what we had in the past was we had like a membership number. So we work on WhatsApp groups, we have radios, everything. But we had a problem in terms of addresses. So let me go to, is it working? Okay. So I'm going to first talk to you about the challenge, then the address system that we're looking at, how I set it up, the analysis, the output, and what we're going to look at next maybe in this project. So the challenge was to create an address system for a rural area that's easy to convey in an emergency situation, but is also your member number. So if I call on a WhatsApp, I can just give my member number, which is also my address. So that was what we tried to do. And then the other thing is often in emergent situations, or if we have a fire or something like that, the electricity goes down because the electricity lines get burnt, or it's in a storm situation, and when the electricity goes off, the communication systems go down. So we can still communicate by radio, but if we call out emergency services, they can't navigate online with apps. So we needed something that can work offline, and even without an app. If I give them the address, they should be able to actually, with the car, just drive to that address and find me. Now, I know there's a lot of systems out there, 3words and all those, but they all work basically online. And then the other thing was that we need to update this regularly as new members join the association. So then one of our farmers is married to a New Zealand girl, and her parents farm also in New Zealand. And she said, well, we use the school system where we use a road name and then the distance from the start of that road, and then whether it's left or right. The turn off from the main road is left or right. So it sounds very simple. Um, it's not always that easy because where I live, from where I turn off the road, it's another kilometer jeep track to where my house is. So
Africa's a lot larger
that's
than New Zealand.
so it's not just like a driveway, but we're gonna call it a driveway. So what we want to use is a road name. Now you will know not all roads got a name. They've got numbers and it's difficult, but the roads in the community have names. And there are also what we call servitude roads. So they don't have official names, but the community will have a name for that road. So we decided to use those local names that everybody knows and is familiar with, and we will then abbreviate that into a number. So the first part is my road is Badskeerders Bos Road, it's a long name, BB. And then we will measure from the start of that road. So we've decided the roads must have a direction and we will measure it from the start of that road. The distance, so the distance from the turnoff to my driveway turnoff is 14.1, and I'll get to the second decimal now, say 19 kilometers. And then we need to say whether you turn left or right. Okay, so we use the second decimal to indicate left or right. So if my distance was 14.18 kilometers, but I turn left, it will have an uneven number, so it will round to the next uneven number. So my number is then 14.19, if that makes sense now to everybody. Okay, so what did I need for this project? I need a road layer, and I just use the topographic layers from Maps and Survey. And then I had to set them. Oh, I see. Sorry for that setup there. Then I have to set them up. I have to choose the specific roads in my area, and then I need to cut them from where they turn off to where I want them, and they were in different. It wasn't just one line; they were section lines. So I had to merge them, and then I had to create the direction of the line, and I need to give them a name. Okay, so that was setting up the road layer. Then the turn-off point, I need to know where it's left or right, and I need to have the point, the position. So what happened was, in this case, the community, two of the committee members, they know everybody in the area. So they sat down on Google Earth and they actually marked all the members. So they gave me a KML file which had the member's name and whether it's left or right on that position. Okay, so then I had to calculate the distance. But I want to go to something here, the projection or the CIS that you use for this project, because I'm going to calculate distances. I need a projection that's going to have calculate the distances correct. Because I'm working with a fairly small area and I don't have a lot of elevation differences, I decided to work in a local projection, LO19, because that gave me closest in terms of distance. But if you're going to work in a bigger area, then you something important to remember here is what projection you're going to work in. Okay, so what I end up was this is our dispatch area, which is the town of Gansbaai, from where most emergency services will come. And then we created the roads or decided on the roads. Each of them got a name and I indicate a direction. So this road will run from here and distances along this road will be calculated from that point. Okay, what the community gave me was something like this, a Google Earth KML file, and they put it in like this. I've got left or right and a name to it. So I imported that KML file into my QGIS and I have points. But now you must remember they've just marked points, can I say roughly? So not all the points are specifically on that line. So what I had was a point layer and I had a road layer. But then I need to put the points on the road, allocate the road name, and calculate the distance. So I then wrote a short Python script that I use in QGIS, and the script clipped the points to the nearest road and then assigned that road name to the point. Then it calculated the distance from the start of the road to that point, and then it converted the second decimal to even or uneven according whether you're turning left of the road or right of from the road, and that then created the member number. And when new members join, I can just add the new point and it will only run the script for that point and add it to the layer. Okay, so that was the script. So I ended up with a layer, a point layer that gives me whether it's left or right, turn off from the road, the member name, the road name that we abbreviated, the distance, and then the number. So you will see this member, you turn left off from the Pearly Beach Road. It's 22.30 kilometers, but because it's left, the second, where's my point now? The second decimal becomes a 1. So the member number is in 22.31. This means that if a policeman gets into his vehicle in town and he don't even have a phone with him and he only have my member number, he knows that he need to get onto the Pearly Beach Road and they know where the roads are. And from the four-way stop in town, he knows that it's 22.3 kilometers to my turn off. So he knows he can go for it. It's 20 kilometers that he has to drive to get to me before he have to start look out for my turn off. Um, and then, so he can even drive to me. So it's like a real address, but it gives him an indication of distance as well. And then when he gets close, he can start looking for my turn off to the left because it's an uneven number. And what we've done is we've printed these numbers on little signs and we've put it up at all our turnoffs. So it's easy for him then to find me, even if he doesn't have a phone or any communication system with him, he will be able to find me. Okay, so what was the output? Um, I printed a map with all the numbers on it. We've printed out a big map for all the emergency services. They have it up in their offices so they know what the roads are. But at the meeting, we also presented it to the community and said, okay, go and have a look at it. And if there's any errors in it, if you don't agree with any distances, you let us know and, we'll look at it. We did a bit of a practical check on the distances as well, using your car, and we were very close. So this is not an exact thing. It's something that someone's going to get in his car and he's going to look on his speedometer and see I need to drive 20 kilometers before I get to this emergency or where the person has called me out to. Um, but we've also decided to put it on a navigation, and we've decided for now on OpenStreetMaps. So it's easy to download the Western Cape maps for you, and you can use it offline for navigation. And I just converted the layer in QGIS to a KML and uploaded it. So that way we can share the layer with the police and other emergency services that needs to get there, and you can navigate. I'm not going to show, I'm sure everybody knows how OpenStreetMaps on Android works, but you can. Maybe I should go. Should I show you the video?
Yeah, let's do
Amy,
it.
do you?
I'm happy.
Okay. Oh, now I need to go back. Let's see if it's going to show it. Oh, there's some background noise in that. Maybe you should.
I can't hear the background noise,
Okay.
so we're good.
Okay. So you just upload your layer into, you choose, there it was, you upload it, and it will go, and there are all the numbers in your OpenStreetMap on your phone. Um, and then if you want to navigate, so you can either search for the number, but for instance, you can go and click then on that member is BB 4.24. So it's on the Bartskeder Sports Road, 4.24 kilometers. And you can either navigate from your current position or you can from the example is SAPS in Gansbaai, and then it will give you the route and you can navigate um, on that. Um, so it was quite a quick and small project. Um, the community is happy with what they've got. They've got numbers and it's working for them. Um, I think that there's opportunities to scale this project for other communities to use. Um, and to do that, what was quite time consuming was setting up the roads, um, and identifying, all the turnoffs, the driveway turnoffs. So I would like to look into options of maybe identifying turnoffs in an area using AI from sat images. I don't know if someone has done that before. Um, and then the specific members, can just send their names and locations and we can match it up somehow. But the one thing that I'm not sure if there's someone that used AI segmentation or identifying roads and specific intersections. If there is, I would like to hear from you. Um, and then automate the road setup. I think I, it's possible through just a Python script. I think I can do that, and then maybe convert once it's automated, convert it to a mobile app that can be used by other communities as well. Okay, I think that's it from me.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you. There are a couple of comments coming in from the live chat, so I'll just read a few out. And then, of course, I'll open the session for anyone in the room who would like to chat about this further. So there is just a couple of people saying greetings from Bhutan, from Jigme. Hi there. And then Nabaz says, thanks. It is really amazing how you tackle an issue without complicating it. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nabaz. I think this is a very, very interesting idea, and specifically in the Cape with fire services and that sort of thing. Getting to the areas in the quickest amount of time is really important. And of course, I think one of the main questions is how in this community is this approach better than, for example, having a GPS coordinate and a GPS? Is it an access issue? How would this win versus a GPS coordinate?
Okay, you see, if I'm in an emergency situation, and that can be anything, a fire. I actually had a fire in the middle of the night. I live totally off grid, so one of my battery packs caught alight, and I was totally alone. So now you juggling. You need to try and put the fire out, but you also realize you need some help to
Hmm.
do that. So in that emergency, I need to, as quick as possible, send a message on my community WhatsApp and say, I have a fire and this is who I am. Now, not
Mm,
everybody may know, no, not everybody at the emergency services may know them. So I have a member number. So I can just say my member number is BB14.91. And then he knows exactly. Our security services have it on their database. I can see immediately who I am. They know what my farm setup is. They know, how many people live on the farm. So that's data that's in the background that's secure with our emergency services. But they know exactly who I am, and they know exactly where to get to me or
where
how
to
to
go.
get to me. If
Mm,
I have to give them, if I now first have to go into my Google Maps, and once again that night, um, because my electricity caught a light, my electricity went off, so my Wi-Fi went off. So I had to go on my phone on my data, and now I have to go to Google Maps and wait for it to find my position. And then they still know how to get to me because I live up a mountain. They need
mhm.
to get to the turn off
Yes.
from the main road. So if I, in that situation, either had to send a pin or had to give them a coordinate, it's just a lot easier if you have a fairly short number which identify you and your position. So yeah, it need to be as simple as possible.
Alrighty, brilliant stuff. We do have a question from the live chat. Nabaz asks, can you please, if possible, show the script of how you set the right and left for the location?
Okay, I'll have to. Oh goodness, what did I do now? There you go. Um, I'll open our QGIS. So it's gonna take. Let me just get my QGIS there. Um,
In the meantime, while you open your QGIS, welcome everyone. I see in the call. I see Tim is in the call. Hi, everyone. If you have any questions, please feel free to come on mic and ask them.
so my computer is now a bit slow. Let me just quickly get to um, that. Let me see if I can find it. Um, I don't think you will be able to see it on. No, I'll have to. I'll have to go to my QGIS if it would just open up a bit quicker.
Insert some elevator
Um,
here.
I can. Okay, there we go.
There's another question from Travel Texan, who asks, similar to the vein I was chatting about, is have you considered adding the lat long coordinate for a more accurate location? So once you've obviously shared that number because you're in a stressful situation and maybe getting that lat long is difficult, is it actually useful for the emergency services to have that?
Um, I don't think so because they don't really have GPSs to go by
Hmm.
and or to use, and they then have to put it into. Yes, let me just get there. They have to then, you know, put in that coordinate. I just don't think it's because that's why we use two decimals.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't really. He's going to drive. He's going to drive on his vehicle's speedometer in distance. Um, so the second decimal, you lose some accuracy on the second decimal. but because we have signs at the turnoffs, you should be able to see that.
Hmm.
So if 1 decimal is the accuracy of that is enough. Our turnoffs aren't that close to each other. So, if even if it's 50 meters out, he will find your turnoff. Um,
Hmm.
so we don't really need that level of accuracy because it's only the turn off. It's not your actual house. When you turn off into what we call then um, your driveway, then it follows the road. And if you have more little roads that split off, it's you as the member's responsibility to have signage on your road so that he can actually get to you. That's why I say it's very difficult. I live, as I said, a kilometer up a jeep track from my turn off.
Hmm.
But you can't really go wrong. Once you're on that track, you can't go anywhere else but follow it until you get to the house. Yeah.
And of course, in such large areas that are covered by a sort of small community of responders that aren't always as well equipped as we'd like, um, then I think
Yes.
it's a much, much more bomb-proof approach, I suppose.
Yes, yes. I think it will sort of go back to basics,
Hmm.
very simple because, yeah, emergency service like the police, they don't have the resources.
Hmm.
We're lucky if they have a vehicle and staff. They
Hmm.
don't have GPSs and all sorts of equipment to get
Hmm.
to us. Even your fire brigade. I mean, the quickest they will get from town to us is half an hour. And if this guy is driving that fire truck, you can't expect him to navigate technology and equipment as well. He just need to. So that's why it's so easy. You can get in his truck and you can see you are on this road, 20 kilometers from the start of that road. And he
Hmm.
knows he can just go as fast as possible until he get close to yours, and then he need to look left or right. In the case of fire, you probably see the fire, but any other any other emergency, yeah, they may
Yeah,
not know.
there's no smoke with a
Yeah,
heart attack, I suppose, is the saying.
no, 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 no.
Let's go back to Nabaz's question here of can we see the code?
Okay, yes, yes. I think there we go. That was if it makes sense to you.
all right, brilliant stuff. Yeah, I hopefully that gives us all the clarity we needed. All right, great stuff. I don't see any more questions coming in from the live chat. Yeah, any other questions in the room?
I don't know if you can hear me.
Hi, Tim.
Hi,
Yes.
everyone. Yeah, just no question, just a comment to say well done. It's really nice, simple, elegant solution you've come up with which is much more accessible than using like what 3 words or these other proprietary systems. So well done. Really, really, really smart.
Thank you.
All right, brilliant stuff. Nabaz says thanks a lot for showing us. So I just wanted to circle back to your question there, Sarien. From the community, what kind of input would you like from this? I mean, it would be really nice if I can go, and try out this on the map. But you mentioned there were a few things that the community can sort of start to get involved in, or perhaps make a replicate of this in their community.
Yes, I think the one thing that takes a lot of time is to mark all the driveways, if I can call it like that, driveways. So if we can somehow identify from a satellite images all driveways in a specific area. So you'll have your roads and you'll see there's a little track going off that intersection. Um, and I think, if we've got a vector layer, then we can certainly identify from there, but that's not up to date. Um, your satellite images, you can have more recent satellite images to do that. So if you have a large area, it's yeah. I don't know if anyone's used AI, some of the models to do something like that. Um, I certainly would like to hear and try it out if there's anyone. And then yes, once we've got the road layers is to clean up the road layers is the other job. But I think I have an idea how to do that, and I'll play around with that. It's just identifying all the turnoffs for the driveways, and then the challenge is to link that to members, member members' names. Yeah. So I'm still trying to get my head around that one. Um, because here we relied on local knowledge to do that. These two guys, they know everybody in the area. They know every little track in the area, so they know exactly where everybody lives. So they could sit down. I think they sat down for 2 days. They marked it for me, and send it to me. But if you're working with larger areas and bigger communities, it can become quite a challenge. What we've tried in the past was we asked members to send us pins.
Mhm.
It didn't quite work. Not everybody send it. Not everybody is comfortable, know how to send a pin. You'll be surprised that in this day and age, there's still a lot of people who doesn't really know. And I got pins from them being in town and all over the show, but not from their turn off. So um, yeah, it's a challenge when you work in a rural community and everybody is not up, to the technology that you require. So yeah, so we've tried that one. It was the other option is, once you've got um, your points and you have a meeting with the community and you have it up on the screen and everybody come and say this is me and this is me and this is me. You can,
I was also thinking
yeah,
a sort of physical mapathon
that's
might actually be the answer.
yes,
Don't we love a human
yeah.
solution than a machine solution?
Yeah, yeah, that may be the easiest solution. But then at least already got the point, and they can just say, "That's me," you know. Then you can just quickly fill in the name, and you already have whether it's left or right. You just need to fill in the name.
Who the people
So
are.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Well, it's definitely a head scratcher. So I encourage the community to have a think about that problem. Would it be best for people to pop a note to you on the community Telegram channel if they have a thought about it?
yes, they can do that, or they can just send me an email if they want to, uh, you know, get
And
into more detail.
did I miss it? Was your email address on the slideshow?
No, it wasn't there. My email address is should I perhaps, is my screen still?
Your now your screen's not sharing.
Just switched it
I can
off.
always put it into the um description. Wow, the word was not coming to my brain.
Oh yeah, you can just add it in there.
Perfect. All right, great stuff. So there are no other questions coming through from the live chat. So if that concludes your presentation there, Serena, I think we can bring this stream to a close.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you, community, for joining. Please make sure to join at the top of the hour for the next session, which is, of course, going to be an open discussion with the QGIS. I think it's PCS. I hate acronyms. I'm never any good at that. Thanks, Tim. Just all around making QGIS user groups in your country. So I think it's going to be a really, really useful session for anyone who's interested in doing that. And I look forward to seeing everybody there. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.
Thanks all.
I know.
Cheers.